You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.
Hi, welcome to the Question Reality Show. I'm Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. At least I think I'm live. I'm not sure today. There's like some stuff happening. I'm like phasing in and out of reality. Okay, but I'm here for the most part. Okay, I'm Priscilla Leona. I'm a multiple award-winning independent film producer, cable TV producer, radio producer, and podcast producer. And the show Question Reality, we've been on for 22 years, and we have been entertaining and questioning the reality of people who work in the entertainment industry. Now, I just rewrote my intro, so you're going to see me cut my eye over here. So sorry about that. For 22 years, and we bring guests on who are Oscar nominees, Emmy Award winners, Grammy Award winners, Tony Award winners, and we also have up-and-coming rising stars on the show. Hopefully, they'll end up being a star, because that's what they want. And we also have seasoned performers, and the show's mission is very simple. We want to inspire, motivate, and educate. I don't even drink. I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, and I feel like I am going in and out of reality today. I don't know. There might be some sort of planetary thing happening because I'm not feeling like things are going smooth, but we're going to wing it and go through it. All right. We also have stories. We ask for the guests to bring stories from behind the scenes and just give us the truth about what's going on in the entertainment industry in the world. Now, if you want to be a guest on the show to showcase your talent, promote your products, or just come on and give sage advice about what it takes to make it in the entertainment industry. Some people come on and they don't want to promote anything. They just want to be a professor and a teacher. So you can email me directly at priscillaleona@yahoo.com, priscillaleona@yahoo.com. And also we have our website, Question Reality Radio Show. Now, as you know, if you've been with me for 22 years, you know, originally we started out on cable television. And then we went to LA Talk Radio for 15 years. We were cable television for 6 years, and I'm not sure how the math adds up, but I just went podcast like everyone is a couple years ago. So total 22 years. So please go to our website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com. Facebook at Priscilla Leona, Facebook Question Reality Show. Pretty much my tip every week is to keep your social media branding consistent. People cannot find you. You meet someone at a party, they want to book you if you're an actor. They want to meet you. They want to do some work with you. They can't remember your name. They go to Google you, and you are nowhere to be found. You have to be consistent. Keep all of your social media consistent. Instagram, keeping that in mind. Instagram, Priscilla Leona. YouTube, Priscilla Leona. TikTok, Priscilla Leona. And Linktree. They can find me, right? Okay, so we have wonderful, oh my God, these two, let me tell you, Megan and Chuck. Officially, Megan Foley Marra and Chuck Marra. I have known them ever since, and I don't know how, but she cast me on a film project. We weren't ready for the book yet. Can we bring me back on? We're not ready. But okay. All right. We'll do the book. All right. But anyway, I met Chuck and Megan. I met Megan. She cast me for a project. It was a fine photography project with this wonderful photographer called, I believe it's pronounced Gerard Ranison. And we did a cover spread. Yes, I made it to the cover. When I was little, I always wanted to be a supermodel. And I never made that, but I did make it to the cover of Paris Match magazine, courtesy of being cast by Megan Foley Marra, and ended up in a magazine called Paris Match, which is, from what I understand, like the Cosmopolitan of France. And it was for a campaign called The Last Supper. So look it up and see what you think. All right. Megan Foley Marra is a casting director, a director, producer, and Chuck Marra is a director, actor, and casting director. Their website is the FoleyMarraStudios.com. That's the TheFoleyMarraStudios.com. And their social media, Instagram, look at her. She doesn't even know. She's keeping it real. This is a professional here. Instagram at Foley Marra Studios, Facebook at Megan Foley Marra. And let me just tell you a little bit about them. Megan Foley and Chuck, they have been working together since 1987. Those were some of the best times of my life. I was hitting the disco hot and heavy in 1987. First in casting and then in producing, directing. And they also were a team in both theater and in film. And this was in 87. Wow, this is fantastic. They have directed and produced over 70 theatrical productions and currently have 23 short films in post-production or on the festival circuit. And they have won numerous awards, including Best Short Film, Best Directors, Best Cinematography. There's a couple more best. Wait a minute, got to turn my page over. There's lots to read here. Best Original Score. And I'm sure there are some others that, well, I may possibly be missing, but I think I got it all. And Megan began Megan Foley Casting, again, as I said, in 1987. And she just had a great eye for recognizing and developing talent. So Chuck, he began acting studying with Lee Strasberg. I'm wondering if he worked with Lee Strasberg, because the way it's reading is studying with Lee Strasberg at the Tisch School of the Arts. Lee Strasberg Theater is, as most people know, it's an institute in New York. And he has been working as a professional actor since he moved to LA in 1987. Now, this is interesting. I was wondering how long they knew each other. Oh, we got lots of questions, like when did they meet and were they in New York? We got lots that I want to know about. Now, Megan and Chuck have cast over 3,500 commercials and dozens of movies, TV shows, and industrials over their 30-year career. And Megan is a member of the Casting Society and the Commercial Casting Directors Association of LA. And today on the show, we're going to be talking about pretty much three topics. Number one, their book, which is called How to Trash Your Career. The second, we're going to find out about their Megan Foley Studios and how you too could probably take classes with them. And three, we want to talk about their journey overall of filmmaking and awards. And again, these are people who are responsible for Best Short Films, Best Directors, Best Cinematography, Best Original Score. See, I knew I left something out. Best Ensemble, Best Actor, Actress, Best Supporting Actor. Let me tell you real quick. See this cover, How to Trash Your Career? Okay, so what this is, it's a comedic guide to the actor's journey. And it's quite an entertaining read. I have read this book. I got it a long time ago. And I got to tell you, I loved it. It's humorous, very funny, because these two are funny people, or they wouldn't be in the entertainment industry. It's funny, yet it's very insightful. And it takes a look at the many ways that actors unintentionally sabotage their own careers. And this is drawn from their 30 plus years in the casting and entertainment business. And what I love about this book is that it's written in a conversational style. They don't come at you with a adjunct professor viewpoint. It's very conversationalistic. I think that's a word. It's almost like your actor friend is spilling the tea over coffee and you're listening. So even if you're not in showbiz, the anecdotes and the relatable and cautionary tales, they're just universal. So it's not going to be anything you haven't heard before, but the way they put it together and their stylistic viewpoints is what's going to be different. And what's inside of this book, they've got real life stories of on-set blunders and audition disasters. Some of my favorite stories. I have many friends who are casting directors, and I never get tired of hearing these stories because I just can't believe that people do some of the things that they tell me these actors do. No offense, actors, but if you knew you weren't supposed to do them, to your credit, I'm sure that you wouldn't do it, but it's a learning experience. So you shouldn't get too upset at yourself. It also gives advice on what not to do in the industry, from etiquette to professionalism, lessons that apply beyond acting with a tone that's witty and self-aware. Now, who doesn't want to be witty and self-aware? These are goals, people, that we should all aspire to. And I just think, personally speaking, it's just got a great mix of humor and just hard-earned wisdom. And I really can't wait to just lean into that vibe while hopefully we're keeping it educational for aspiring entertainers. So without further ado, let's bring those two. Oh, aren't they adorable? I just want to bite their cheeks and maybe their noses too. Let's bring them on. Oh, where are you? Oh, now you're on the right side. Oh, now I'm on the right side. Okay. How are you guys? Looking like a million and one.
Hi there.
Hi.
Wow.
You sound so fabulous.
I
love that.
It's true. Your face is flawless. Is that a filter you guys have on?
That's how she wakes up in the
I'm
morning.
joking. Is that a filter? Because I want that filter.
No,
That's no filter.
you don't need a filter.
Oh, I'm telling you. Well, I used to do my shows on an iPad and it made everything look yellow and dingy. My husband just bought me this Mac AirBook Pro.
Yes.
Oh my God, I think I'm rocking 29.
I think you are.
I'm doing it. As long as I can keep my chin right there at that level, because if it comes up, it looks like it's hanging to Panama. So I just have to keep it right there. All right, I'm good. So it's not that my neck's stiff. There's intent and purpose going on. All right, so let's start. Ooh. Now, since How to Trash Your Career has this perfect mix of humor, I think. I've read this several times, and I've referred this to people, and I've had 3 of my friends tell me, oh my God, this woman should be a stand-up comedian. And so should her husband. I said, well, maybe they do that too. Who knows? It sounds like it from the way I read it. I didn't see that anywhere in the bio, but it's out very well written. So it's got a mix of humor and it's got all your wisdom. So I wanted to start with the origin and the industry insight. So how did the idea for How to Trash Your Career come about? Was it born from a series of eye rolls, which I do all the time, in the audition room?
Probably, actually, but go ahead.
It was
really, it's all of the humor in it is Chuck's humor, and all the wisdom is mine.
Oh, I like it. That's a good combo.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We were teaching. We used to teach a commercial audition class, and in that class where it was kind of rapid fire, it was going really quickly, and somebody just said they booked something. I said, "Oh, really? What you book?" And she said, "Oh no, it's just a small part in a commercial." And I went, "That's chapter 1 of my book, How to Trash Your Career." And she said, "Where can I get it?" And I'm like, "I was joking. I was joking about it." So then I got like that. So we started talking about it. We started like putting down notes about all the things that people did. It's like, stop it. No one's going to believe that. And we left out this ton of unbelievable.
There's so many things afterwards. I'm like, oh, we don't have that in there. Oh, well, that's not in there. So we might have a book 2 eventually.
Yeah. How to keep tracking your career.
Yeah, because you've seen so much. So that actually was, you thought, wow, I'm serious about it. I'm going to write that damn book.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's so many classes that tell you what to do, but there's really nobody that tells you what not to do. And people don't think about it. Like, you know, the thing about the guy walking up with clients and taking strawberries off of their table, their plates of food, the clients. Oh. And, you know, people just don't think that people would really do that, but they do.
Yep.
Oh,
you know?
Yes, I have seen some stuff.
Right? I bet
I've seen some stuff.
Oh, I should hear from you what stuff you've seen.
You know, real interesting. I went on an audition. Of course, most of the time I have no interest in being an actor, but my goal was to become a producer, and I have a methodical mind in that I thought, well, if I'm going to be a producer, I got to start doing background acting, because how the heck are you going to learn if you don't learn all the bits and pieces and parts? So I used to go out all the time to be a background actor. And one time, oh, there's so many stories, but one time I went for an audition. I didn't know who it was for. And I go in the audition room. Now, they wanted some chubbies. I fit the mold. They wanted some chubbies. And I'm like right there. I walk in this room. It was like a herd of cows, me included. We were all little cows in the room. Well, I go to sit on the chair, and this woman put her purse on the chair and wouldn't let me sit. I go down to the other end, and I said, what the hell? I don't know what. Meanwhile, there was a guy. He was sitting in the chair by himself, and he said, come over here, come sit over here. So I did, and we started talking. I didn't know who he was, but it turns out that he was the assistant director, and he let me go first. And it turns out that it was Allison Hannigan in a movie. Remember Allison Hannigan? But it was Allison Hannigan. I had just finished watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I was full on after she got flayed. I go in, she's so sweet and nice, and she starts talking to me about, oh, it's so nice to meet you. Now, mind you, what I was going in to be for her, a body double. My agent would send me out on shit. I don't know what was wrong with him. He would send me out to be an opera singer. I'm not an opera singer. I can barely carry a tune. But my aunt is a very famous opera singer called Marilyn Horne. He sent me to be a body double. And so Allison is looking at me, and I did not even know that it was a body double. And she explained, she said, wow, you do know this is for a body double. And she's down here, she's 5'2", and I'm up here 5'8". And I said, well, what are you going to be showing? And then she said, well, actually, I think you could do it because we're just going to be showing the calves down. So mind you, we hit it off. I said, girl, I just saw you get flayed, so I'm having a hard time right now seeing you here. And she said, oh, you did. So needless to say, we ended up talking so long. She just kept going and going. And then finally the director said, we got to, get started. And then go. Needless to say, who got cast for that role? Me. Because, and the assistant director said it was because they were so rude to put their purses down and not let me sit. So I think that could go in your next book. Always be kind. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be kind.
Exactly.
never do that. But
Exactly.
I ended up getting the role simply because they treated me bad. So,
Yeah.
but
That
I
was your
mean,
bonus.
you have lots of stories like that, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've
So-
got stories. I mean, I have one. Chuck was reminding me last night about one where a guy, it was a Tuesday morning. I'm sorry, it was a Tuesday morning, and I was there with my assistant, and it was just us. And it was, I was at, what used to be On Your Mark.
Oh, yeah. Our new
I was in there, and all of a sudden,
Victoria Boulevard.
yes. And for the same project, not the same project that you did, but the same director, Gerard Ransonan, he did one with a bunch of nudes, and he was doing like Adam and Eve and all of that stuff. And a guy comes in and he just drops trowel, and I'm like, what? And of course you don't want to laugh, but I'm like, this is a Tuesday morning, and it's like 9 o'clock, and you're naked. What the hell?
The one going to be photographing.
Yeah.
Chuck wasn't there, and I called Chuck, and I'm like, "You're not going to believe this one."
Yeah, they do. They come in character, some of them, don't they? Oh, Lord.
Man.
So you've seen decades of industry mishaps like we're talking about. What is the most, I'm going to go Megan and then Chuck. What's the most legendary example of self-sabotage you've ever witnessed, with names, of course, not to protect the guilty?
You don't have
you know
enough
which one
time.
I'm going to do. The time. Well, we won't
Just
name
one
anybody.
that pops off your head. What do you think?
But we did have a guy that came in to read something, and they wanted him to go without his glasses. And he said, well, I can't read without my glasses. I said, well, it was like 2 lines. I said, don't worry about it. Get close to it. I'll tell him that you're not wearing your glasses, but and he goes, no, I don't want to be seen without I don't want to do it without my glasses. And I was like, okay. So he goes in and he's like this. Did he get it? No. Did they even look up? No. But he was just absolutely like this, reading his thing. And I was like, oh my God, that was a very good self-sabotage, because I was standing right there saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, that was probably one of them.
That's good. What's yours?
No, there's billions of them. And this is not, it's really important to say, this is not making fun of actors. This is like when you walk into a waiting room that we're working on, being actors, we want you to feel real comfortable, and we'll do take after take after take. All you got to do is show up.
Yeah.
And then you find, so we were doing a suntan lotion commercial, and there were 2 people, and they had, character 1 and character 2, and they did it, and it was fine. It was just 2 lines. Each of them had a line, so they have 2 lines, and so they were back and forth, and so I said, okay, great, now let's switch roles. Let's see what goes on there. And they panicked. The 2 of them panicked, and they said, I don't know that line. I'm like, how do you not know that line?
The other person was just saying it.
And so, we rehearse it, and it just never happened. I mean, no, it goes on and on. Because
I thought you were going to do the one about the guy that got flipped by the girl.
Oh no, there's that too. There was an act. Sometimes actors will go into a lobby and try to intimidate other actors.
Well, like you had that experience.
Yeah.
With somebody put their purse down, right?
I thought that was just mean. I didn't think do you think they were trying to intimidate me?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Some people get that. It's not, I mean, again, I'm not going to speak badly about actors in general, but there's always somebody in there. So then we go into we bring these 2, an actor and an actress in, and they're supposed to be on a pier, and she's supposed to push him off. This is the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's supposed to push him off the pier. No, it's not a pier. It's a room, right? It's just a casting room, carpeted floor. And we're about to roll, and she's pretty funny, and he's a comedian, but so he was a little intimidated. And as I'm rolling, he said, "You got shit on your," and she was like, "Huh?" And then she threw, she was so thrown off. Well, came down.
She's looking down. She's like, "What? What's that on my shirt?"
All for rhythm, and he was being all smug. Anyway, when it came time to push him off the thing, she didn't push him. She was a jiu-jitsu expert and threw him over her shoulder.
Body flipped him
on his back. Bam! hear off camera, I deserve that. Yes, you did.
Yes.
Those are funny casting stories.
Yeah, you never know what the heck's going to happen with in those. And that is now I don't know, you two probably are much up on it than I am, but that was so much fun as casting directors to go through these experiences and have these things happen. But now, from what I understand, everything is being done via the eCast, or
Yeah, it's not nearly as fun.
Really? Is there anybody bringing the auditions back, or are they keeping it now?
Usually for callbacks, but we're missing all the stuff at the beginning, which I think is a lot of the really good stuff, and where we would find a lot of the good stuff was in the first calls, you know, but now we're not seeing that as much. And they're just more, I don't know, it's a little bit more boring, really.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not so much spontaneity. I mean, it just goes where you had a person in the room. Now, the other thing, I was just talking for an actor we've known since the 80s, and we just happened to connect on the phone. And we've seen actors 2 or 3 times a week. I've seen more of them than I do of my parents. Right. And you know these people in an intimate way because their creativity is so intimate. And so you get to know them and they get to know you, and you're like, okay, wait, take it this way. And they go, oh, great idea, because I know I've seen them for 20 years.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
We don't get to play like we used to. And that was really one of the fun parts about being a casting director, was seeing the same people that you know and bringing them in and knowing, oh, I know that you can do this, and even on stuff that they didn't necessarily think they could do. I'm like, oh yeah, you've got this in you, you know.
So you can't do that anymore with the eCast, right?
No.
So how does that work now? I'm a little confused on it. Okay, so the agent, tell me the process. I don't even want to try to guess. What's the new way?
We'll do it together. I mean, it's the same process. We'll put out a thing, a breakdown, and then agents will submit via electronic. So now I can get pictures, and I can get video and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool. And then we give them times like you wouldn't anything else. Yeah.
We pick them and give them audition times.
And they send in, it's not really times, but they will give them a slot, and they audition. They send us a self-tape, and we look at the self-tape.
And then send that to the clients. And then they decide who they want to see again. And then either they see them again and we do like a callback on tape, or we see him again and see him in person, which I try to recommend for people to see him in person, because things come out in the room that they don't necessarily come out on tape.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Things I'm not crazy about it. I guess you can probably tell.
Yeah. I wouldn't either.
Everything too. You get 2 actors in a room and they just spark, and that doesn't really happen on this.
No,
especially sometimes they would I know Alan Ball and we were going to go have lunch one time, and he was casting True Blood. Remember that show, True Blood?
Yeah.
There were like 10 people that they had in there to cast this one role, and they had the celebrity to star the show. The girl, I can't remember her name. Anyway, she was there. And what was great is that the actors got to come in, and I got to see each one of them play with her, and they all had a different way of doing it. And then she would change up the way, depending on what she felt.
Yes.
Acting
to him. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was great. That was really wonderful to see, because there are so many ways you can do a part.
Oh my God.
You can have one line and you could do it happy, sad, mad. I mean, if you have a face even that can do different looks and show different emotions and range.
Yes.
I mean, and Alan, he had some of the actors, I guess, like he told me, I saw that they had a wide variety of range. He would have them, okay, I want this comedic, even though this is a vampire movie. I want this comedic. Okay, I want it sad. Okay, I want it, and 5 different ways. And some of the actors rocked it. I'm like, God, How did you do 5 different ways of that one line? But that's the gift of the actor.
That is a good
right? Everybody thinks, oh, they watch TV and film. Oh my God, that's so easy. I could do that. What the hell are they paying that actor millions for? Well, you try it and see, right?
Yeah.
So my friend Jamie Foxx, I threw a Grammy party for him in 2019 for our friend Amy, who's been nominated for about 6 Grammys. But we were over at his house and I'm looking in he has this cabinet. He's got all his Oscars in there and everything. And so I was trying to take a picture, but I kept getting a reflection. I said, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to do. And he said, well, let me just take the damn thing out so you can take a picture of it. So he took it out. And then I said, oh, now, do you think you could say one of the lines from Ray? And he said, girl, yeah, he's very, you know how he's very, very fun, but he's very Waynon's comedy fun.
Yes.
So he said, all right, tell me a line that you want me to say from Ray. I said, well, I can't remember it. It's not like I memorized every one of the lines. He's like, all right, I'm going to do one line and I'm going to do it 3 different ways. And you tell me which way. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I said, well, can I record it? He said, no, you can't record it. And, but he did. He said, well, you know what? I just thought of another way. And then he did 4. And then he said, wait a minute. I can do it this way. He said, damn, I'm hot tonight. Damn. But he ended up doing 6 different versions. And he changed his body posture. And it was so cool to see Jamie do that in person.
It's one of my favorite ways of casting. And it's something that I teach in class. When we do class, I have people do that and say, okay, and they'll do one line and they'll work on just one line and I'll give it to them and say, okay, now do it like this. Now talk to them like that. Now tell this just happened, and it's so much fun because people get so creative. As a casting director, I hate to give people direction before I've seen them do anything. I like come in and go, do it any way you want.
And then some actors go, well, how do you want me to do it?
Right.
And
well,
a lot of my friends who are cast directors say, I hate when an actor asks me that. Just try it and then we'll do it different ways. It was so cool seeing Jamie do 6 different. And then he added, like, he dropped down on the ground and he was like crying. And I'm like, oh, what did I start? For God's sake. And then people were coming in the room and they said, are you okay? Anyway, but there's many different ways you can do it. And what's wonderful is seeing someone of Jamie's caliber be able to do it for free. I said, I didn't even have to pay to see this shit in the movie. You're giving me some free scenes here. Anyway, so you, so you seeing decades of industry mishaps, I wanted to know what do most newcomers think will launch their careers that actually ends up backfiring on their ass?
Well, one of the things that's important to say is there's no one thing that's going to trash your career. You can make a mistake in a casting room and no one's going to care. They'll be like, oh, I got it. You had a bad day. You did the, even getting thrown on your back and being rude. That the only thing that ever really gets you out, not brought back in, is when someone's really rude. And then you're like, I don't want to be with them. I don't want to be in the same room with them. Yeah. But you make a mistake, you forget a line. It's just funny, and you go on.
That's not going to.
Nothing is no one thing. And I was saying in the book, it takes dedication. You have to stick with this thing. You can make a mistake. Everybody's going to make a mistake. But to trash your career, you need dedication, inspiration. You got to stick with it. And
oh, my God.
And a lot of it, it's funny because a lot of it they're different mindsets. In chapter 1 and chapter 2, we talk about 2 different mindsets. One is when people crap all over everything they do. It's just
that crap over everything. One, I would think showing up late. 2, not showing up at all, and then saying,
that's a different story. Yeah, no.
Well, those are
you don't show up late because you're not that. And nobody, if you're not bringing money to the project, you're taking money away from the project, and nobody cares about you. So show up on time, show up early, Be ready to work, and everything's going to be fine.
And have some ideas.
Have some ideas, but
know your lines.
Yeah, know your lines. Don't not show. We've had that with people.
We've had people not show up on set.
That's just drives crazy. But that's not the thing. It's that when you trash your career is in your head. And when I say, crap or dump all over your everything you do, is that people will downplay everything they do. We have a saying among us: we celebrate everything. Everything
we do.
And everything is a success. That is a success, and you find it. But people will take something and say, "Oh, it's just a commercial. Oh, it's just a bit part. Oh, it's just this. Oh, but I'm not a."
No, it's just
when people say that.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Because now they've psyched themselves out. Oh, it's not really important. I'm not going to put the best effort in. I hear that so much.
Yes,
you're the prime mover of everything.
Right.
You are your career. So if you get up in the morning and you don't feel like it's really worth it, then why you do it? I mean, the other thing is, and people do this all the time, is that they will vaunt.
So what?
Chapter. See, it's a thing.
It's one of the.
It's a great word. It's called
what word did you say?
Vaunt.
Vaunt.
VAUNT. I didn't know it either.
Is that a Chuck Marra made up word?
Oh no, it comes from the Latin vain or empty.
I've never heard that word.
I had not either before it hit.
Yeah.
It's a great word. And so what people will do is they'll have a role. Let's just call it a role. And it's not the most important role, but they will blow it so out of proportion.
Oh.
They will be like, oh no, you don't understand. Me and Steve, and we're like, I was sitting there joking with so-and-so, and it was great. We love each other's work, blah, blah. And they do this at parties, and they do this, when they're talking to the people and on Facebook.
And you've heard that too.
You've heard that. But the problem is now everybody thinks, oh my God, you're doing great. And when your head hits the pillow at night, you know it's a lie.
Yes.
And how long can you keep this up? And then people start to do things that try. So that's the kind of thing that goes on. I mean, people get bitter because it's cool. It's so cool to be bitter.
Poor actors. I have had, oh God, I can't remember who this was, but I think she wrote a book. Oh, she's a casting director. I won't say her. I don't have to say. Okay. All right. So we'll just say this line. Great job. Thanks. Which all casting directors say. Well, this poor actress, she kept going to auditions and she kept hearing, great job. Thanks. And it was over like 50 times. And she had to go to the doctor and she had to get Xanax because her nerves were frayed. And she said, why do they keep saying that when obviously I didn't do a good job? I'm not getting the part. Why can't they just say so? Talk
because
about
it's
that.
not a contest like that. Actors think that this is a validation. You're going to be the best actor, so you're going to get the job. And the job is going to say, see, I'm the best actor. And it has nothing to do with this business at all. Nothing. You're the greatest actor.
I think great job. Thanks is a wonderful way to end them, get them out the damn door. Great job.
No, it was
you be happy for a couple minutes, right, Chuck? They're going to be happy. They're going to think they did a great job.
Well, but here's the deal. No matter what level you come in, if you give it your all,
that's right.
Then you did a great job.
You did a great job. Thanks for giving us the best you got.
You got it.
Right.
And now we get to know you, and now we get to know what your sense of humor is like, so we can bring in something else. And do
you predominantly cast for comedies?
Huh?
Do you predominantly cast for comedies, or you do music videos? You do everything.
We haven't done music videos for a while, but I did a lot of big ones in the beginning of my career, like for Poison, the band Poison, and a couple of.
God, Brett Michaels. What song?
It was a long time ago.
I like how you're trying to squeeze out of answering that because I love that band.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Was it?
It was one of their first music videos.
Oh, what was that? All I remember is Every Rose Has a oh no, that wouldn't have been it because that was later on. Well, we'll talk on the side. You can. Have you ever had to give an actor the dreaded maybe don't do that ever again talk, and how did they take it? That is something you would remember. Maybe they had a meltdown. Maybe Chuck has some wounds. Maybe there's scars involved, hair pulling, weaves ripped out.
No, we don't. I'm not. I think once or twice, maybe we've called an agent and said this is not behavior that was.
I've done that with parents of.
So they don't do it again, right?
Yeah, no, I've done it with parents of kid actors, and I know one. I had a guy a young actor at the time, and he was really upset with me, and he wanted to get in to see. I'll use her name because she's not really casting anymore. Sharon McGee, and I was her assistant, and she's just a love. But he wanted to get in and see her, and he took me and he shook me and he threw me up against the wall. And I was her assistant. Oh no, I'm not
Chuck,
kidding.
where was Chuck? Chuck
I was not in that casting.
Chuck was still, we were still in. I don't know if we'd even met yet.
No, we met.
Anyhow,
I remember you telling me that. You were like,
well, I've never seen him again.
What did you do?
I've never seen him again. I went in and I told Sharon, I said, I want you to know that this is what's going on. And so she didn't see him. And then I've never seen him again. And his agent, who was with one of the big agencies, was a friend of mine. Come on, why don't you see him? Why don't you see him? I'm like, can't do it. And then one of my friends who directs some theater would hire him a lot. And I was like, just let me know if he's going to be there, because I really don't want to see him.
Wow. Now, was this here in California? Or was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, they do crazy stuff out here. So like for example, one thing that a lot of my friends used to tell me is that people would come into auditions, and I didn't think this was a bad thing. But they used to automatically go up to the casting directors and want to shake their hand and hug them. And most of the casting directors did not like that. They say that is an absolute no. I would have been fine with it, but again, that's me. What's your advice? I mean, now they're not casting, in rooms, but
yeah,
that I know that casting directors are often accosted at parties and stuff.
That is true. I lied to Chuck when we first met, and I didn't even tell him what I did.
That's right.
Because I didn't want to get accosted. I was at a party, and I didn't want to. I don't want to
she was
talk
a
about
dental
it.
assistant, and I'm like, yeah, but just cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then on another thing is they say, well, again, I'm talking about all these times when they're not doing the auditions anymore, but people would wear too much cologne, too much perfume. They would be coughing and clearing their throat on the casting director's time. I've heard it all. Well, they still don't. I hear they still do it on the set. So
it still does happen. Perfume is a really big one. I had a client who was absolutely knew he was going to hire this girl. She comes into callbacks and she was wearing a vanilla perfume. And I personally thought it smelled great, but he shook hands with her, and then all he could smell was vanilla. And he wouldn't even have her anywhere near her. Wouldn't hire her. Didn't want to smell like that. And I was like,
what is your recommendation for this? Is something actors are confused about and ask me all the time. I don't know. But okay, if you do an audition and you're seen with certain clothes and
and
it's different, should you wear the same clothes? Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's not because I want you to wear the same clothes. It's because the clients will say to me, well, where was the girl that was in the green shirt? And I said, well, she was here, but she was in a blue shirt.
Right.
Oh.
There's something about it that worked. Wear it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Consider it to be a costume.
Yes, exactly.
And do it again.
It seems so silly.
The thing about the hugging, I'll tell you this, think of it like this. If a pipe bursts in your bathroom and the plumber comes to fix it, and the first thing he wants to do is hug you and talk to you, you're like, I got a leak. Leak. You're not here to make friends, and that makes the whole industry easier.
Yeah.
You're here to do a job. Do the job. Now there are people that, if we haven't seen them in a long time, we'll look at each other and go, "Oh my God!" And then now we got to get back on track.
Now I'm a big
right. Yeah, unwanted physical attention, especially after the recent situations, we probably don't want to do that. But okay, if you could design an actor boot camp based only on the mistakes you've seen, what would be its most ridiculous but totally necessary classes?
We did this.
You did this? No.
We did this for like 6 years. We called it the project.
For real? In your casting studios?
Yeah. Yeah. And we taught people how to
answer this question then.
But I would say it's always, for me, it's knowing the material. Just being familiar with the material. You know, even if it's a show you've never seen, it doesn't matter. You can get to make up this. That's the fun part of being the actor. You get make up a story, but make up a story that makes sense to you, because
that is exactly what David Schwimmer told me. Again, you know how sometimes they don't tell you who you're going out for. Okay, so I go on this audition for, all I knew, my agent was from New York, God rest his soul. He'd say, Priscilla, you're going on an audition. It's a woman with a blue toe. That's all I know. And he'd leave these voicemails. So I go and I went into this audition, and who do I see? It's David Schwimmer. He's the executive producer now. And then there was no script, nothing. And I didn't know what to do. I said, well, I'm just here as a background actor. You mean there are lines? Because I thought I was just going to get a toe painted blue. I didn't know there were any lines. So I said to David, who's wonderful, just a wonderful man. And I said, David, I didn't get a script. He said, don't worry about it, Priscilla. He's very mellow. He's very calm. David's so chill. He said, Priscilla, you have a toe. It's blue. What would you do if you went to the doctor? Because the toe won't turn back to the natural color. I'm like, oh my God. And then I just thought about it. And the way David has an ability to make you think about a toe being blue, I said, okay. He said, and let's just do an improv. Let's just see where it goes. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know line, but okay. I said, there's a Taft-Hartley involved now, right? I need my sad. He's like, don't worry about it. We'll Taft you. It's all right. So then I went and I did the line opposite John Lehrer, and he's a wonderful comedic actor. And thank God, he was so wonderful, and he made me feel comfortable. Next thing you know, David decided to shoot this, and David and John and I just were kind of doing improv, and David kept it in the movie. He said, you couldn't ask for better chemistry between the two of you for this scene. So that happens a lot too, right, Megan and Chuck? Yeah. You never know when you're going on an audition, because I don't know if you two tell the actors, hey, it's going to be Jack Black, or it's going to be this or that, because sometimes they tell you, do not tell the actors.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. And we'll say the director is going to be there, and that's about all you're
That's usually what I'll say. But I do remember Jason Alexander, he was directing something, and we had somebody come in, and they said, oh, you were so great on the Tonys last night. And Jason, as the person leaves, it goes, I wasn't on the Tonys.
Who the hell did he think he was?
I don't know who they thought he was. I mean, he's pretty.
He's recognizable. You would know Jason Alexander. Wow.
We don't trust our work as actors, so we want to get a personal edge, and that's where you fall apart.
That is a lot of people.
It's just. Look, this is what I want to do. If you like the idea and you don't like me, use the idea. I make ideas, right? Yeah. And that's happened a lot. I would be in an audition and somebody would go, oh, that's great. Listen, if he does that and we can get fire coming, wouldn't that be great? Thanks, you can go. Okay. Yeah. And I'm like, good, take it. I don't care. Yeah. You work with the people who get you.
Yeah.
And you don't work with the people who don't. And
that's right.
And that's really it. You can't, here's something that's really important. You can't look at booking any job as a mark of who you are.
Right.
You are a good actor because you are a good actor because you take it seriously.
Right.
If you're going to work, you're going to work. You're not better because you booked something. Because then when you don't book something, you by your own standards suck. And that's where
this, because
it's such. I mean, you're either going to get it or you're not. You can't dwell on it. You just got to move on with your life. You don't need medication after every interview, audition.
No,
you're in the wrong business.
Right?
People like to get valid. They come to be actors. So
it's so hard though.
And that's just not. I had to write
I
get mad at me and say, I just want to I get some respect as a writer in Hollywood. I'm like, okay, you're in the wrong business.
Right, exactly. Now, in a world of just be yourself, which a lot of people say, advice, what does this actually mean for actors who are trying to get hired without accidentally trashing their chances? Because some people, you tell them to be themselves. Oh God, you've opened a big ass can of worms.
Yeah, but you see, that'll come out of, and that does come out of, if you're in the mode of trashing your career, you will make the wrong choice all the time.
Yeah.
And I can say anything. Tell me a joke, and you'll just to do this.
Yeah.
And all people could think of was really horrible jokes, and I'm like, not horrible, bad. I mean, like offensive jokes.
Offensive,
why would that occur to you? If I put a kid in a room with you and said, tell a joke, you wouldn't say, so these two nuns get off of a bus. You're not going to do that. You're just, you're going to go, oh, wait, what's big and red and eats rocks? You're going to tell a kid's joke. So you're going in there to screw up your career because you've put a mindset together that you can't do anything else. And again, we're not making fun of actors. I wish some people knew all this stuff when I was starting out, because I've made most of these mistakes.
I'm going to respond to something I heard you say earlier, because yes, he did work with Lee directly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that's another thing, but I was just.
The reason I asked that is because my old acting teacher, Barry Feinstein, but you're a little younger. You're a lot younger than him.
God bless you for that.
Well, it's true, because he took classes from Lee Strasberg, but that was in, I think, the 70s. So
this was
in the
70s.
In
late 70s, early 80s.
Oh yeah, this was the beginning, late 60s, early 70s. He loved him. He really loved that man.
It was my life. Honest to God, we were not besties. We're not like, we didn't go out for beers and Ian's like, hey, Chuck, so what's going on? No, you guys actually never talked like that. That's more De Niro.
Are you from New York? You're from New York, Chuck. I hear an accent. Beautiful, beautiful accent.
I love it.
What are you, Brooklyn?
No, I'm from Westchester, but I love the New York accents.
I know anything. I crave. Oh my God. It's the highlight of my day when I hear a New York accent, because I'm from Connecticut. So I've been out here since 92, and you don't hear people with some good accents, especially the Italian accent. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
You can call and talk to Chuck anytime you want.
Okay. But he's got to do it. What the fuck are you doing coming up? You got to be giving me something that I'm used to. All right. Yeah, I love your accent. Now, if you ever had to give, this is very good. If you ever had to give an actor the dreaded, wait a minute. Oh, must do's, never do's. Okay, so for example, you go on set, you never go up to the star of the show and want to take a selfie. Lord knows I've seen that happen so many times, and I've heard about it. So give me at least one must do for an actor.
It's so simple.
Get to the set.
Get to the set.
Get to the set on time.
Right. Work on your role as much as you can. Don't stop working. Maybe if you want to take a couple of pictures, but that's not the reason you're there. Just to prove that you were there.
But you shouldn't go up to an actor.
No.
But I'll tell you this. This is really fun. I did an episode of Hollywood a couple of years ago when it was on, and Holland Taylor was there. Everybody, and I mean, there was wonderful people. Darren Criss was there, and and we wrapped the day. And I was going to go, and I think I nodded to Taylor and said, thanks very much. And she said, where are you going? get over here. And so she's the one who initiated the selfies with the whole cast.
So if they want to do pictures, that's great.
It's,
but it's
if they ask, not you going up to them.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It's not the end of the world. It's just, again, the neediness.
It is. They want to take I know one girl who every time she gets cast on a project, she will go and ask them when they're on their lunch break if she can take a selfie, and immediately it's posted to her social media. And then she wonders why she doesn't book stuff because
that's very clear.
It's
beautiful girl, but it doesn't matter.
No,
and you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
Oh my! All right.
So do your work.
And I think it's also good to introduce yourself to make sure that the AD knows who you are.
Yeah, that is important because a lot of actors get lost.
Yes.
And the AD's running around and they're asking me, have you seen him? No, I'm just the background. But
no, the AD needs to know who you are so they know how to find you and get you.
You know what I did? I got cast for a little small, again, featured background on Glee. And I was one of the teachers. Jane Lynch was so wonderful. She came up to me and she said, I'm so sorry about the lines. Did you have a chance to look at what lines I have to say about you? And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what the heck you say. I'm there to get my cashola and to hit the damn catering table. That's my goal there. I'm cool. Whatever you say. I'm like, no, it's no problem. So nice and sweet. So a little bit later, she comes up to me, and she shouldn't be doing this. She's like one of the stars on the show, co-star, right?
Yeah.
And she said, Priscilla, because one thing about her, she will remember everybody's name on the set who's an actor. Oh, but that's another. So she came up to me and she said, Priscilla, by the way, did you see the guy that I'm in the scene with? You know, he's got the beard and his name's Dan. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's over at the catering table because we were a bunch of large people and the scene required that she say some stuff. But I knew where he was. And she said, why do actors roam off? Why do they wander off the set? And I didn't know what to say. I said, well, the hot dogs are damn good, Jane. I'm telling you. I stuffed a couple in my purse on the way out. And she said, gotcha. All right. And then she had to go and find him. Jane herself went down. So make sure you let the AD know where the hell you are.
And know the AD's name.
Yes, that's it.
Instead of going, hello, hi,
Yeah. And if you don't know, say, excuse me, and just, act like, never, ever, I don't want you to lose absolutes, but always use please and thank you. I was taught that in my household, and it works. And if you don't know someone's name, say, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am, or that's just, okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
The idea is you got to know the only reason you're there is to move the story along. That's it.
That's right.
You have to go to the bathroom. Is this a good time? Can I go to the restroom? And then stay right where they need you.
This is not your prep for red carpet work. You're not gonna, you don't know if you'll make it to that part. All right. So, now, if you had to write a sequel, which I don't know if you have one by now, but if you had to write a sequel to the book called, here's the title, I'm going to give it to you, How to Accidentally Become Famous, what would the first chapter be titled?
Hire a publicist.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
And network.
And there is no, see, that's the thing is, your work, and what we talk about in this book is that it's a process, and everything you do moves you forward. So you stop moving because you get depressed or you get bitter or you get any one of the chapters in this book, and then you start moving forward. If there's no accident, you're going to be successful. See, there is a reality that I think actors in particular don't know, but because there's an all or nothing in it. You can't fail. It's impossible to fail at anything. You can't fail. You made a step. You're one step further than you were before.
You try.
You can judge it, but you can't fail. You can die and you can quit. That's it. Or you can do. And then as you move forward, so there's nothing. You are successful. Did you go to acting school? You're successful. Did you look for a job? You're successful. Did you get a job? You're successful. Did you give up? Did you not do it today? Well, then you don't get to move the piece forward.
Great job. Thanks for doing that. You're working on your career. Yeah.
Always.
And people who are really successful, we can't name names, will call and say, Megan, how do I get a job in this town? I'm like, you're a movie star, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And, we have friends that are, that work a lot, all the time.
Yeah.
And they always are working on their career. They're not sitting back at their house waiting around for somebody to call. They're
doing right.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually, there's two things I'll bring up out of the book to bring that up. One is you see it as a talent count. You just sit down, you sit back and let your agent do the whole thing. Well, that's a way to put your career in the toilet.
Yeah.
That's a catch-22 though, because when you are trying to get an agent, they want to see credits. And then how are you going to get the credits if you don't have an agent? So what do you recommend with that situation? Because you come here, you're trying
to be impossible.
People think that if they get an agent, oh my God, the sky's going to open up and, gold coins are going to come flooding out.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
That's not true.
No, that's what he's talking about. That's the problem, is that once you get the agent, then they're only going to get 10% of your money or 15% of your money, depending on who it is. And you have to they're going to do 10% of the work. You've still got to do 90% of the work.
Right.
Still your job.
Yeah. And actors do that all the time. They get an agent and they sit back and I guess they watch Jeopardy. I don't know what they do.
Yeah,
but they don't
you got to be proactive or else they're going to drop your ass because they are not going to keep you, especially if it's a small boutique agency. They're not going to keep you if you're not booking. They want you to go out and make the money for them. That's exactly right.
One of the hardest working people I know is my niece, who is a realtor. And she is working constantly on her getting more clients, but actors will think, oh, I can just sit here. I can go to the beach today. I can take the day off today. I'm like, not really, you got to do a little bit of work for your career every day.
A lot.
Now, what do you suggest doing now? Okay. So I know that actors should be submitting to Actors Access. They should be registered, Actors Access. Then there's casting networks. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that they should be doing? Because I guess, is that the only thing you can do is submit to those two? What else can you do?
So you can do, obviously, we're both theater people. So we both will say, get active in the theater, do something, because even you're going to meet other people, theater people, and those other theater people are going to go, hey, do you know, oh, they're auditioning for this, or oh, they're auditioning for that,
And then
is theater still in LA? Is anybody still doing a lot of theater? Is it?
Even if nobody comes. We used to, and part of the thing we used to do the project, and we used to tell people, we're going to go to the Fringe Festival. Nobody's coming. You're going to contact every agent in the world, and nobody's coming except your friends who you're going to guilt into coming. But the point is, you're doing it so you can get to be a better actor.
Yeah.
You're
doing it for the experience. You're not doing it to get seen. That's the problem. Is that people in LA do theater to be seen and not to do it as a place to do their work. Mm-hmm. And what we found recently is that a lot of people are not taking classes anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard that? Have you seen that?
I have heard that. And I didn't know why that is. I didn't understand that. I mean, I was thinking maybe because prices are so high, everything is so expensive. And then I thought, well, maybe they're just not being offered except online.
No, they're offered in person, they're offered online. And a lot are offered online, but there are a lot of people are teaching in person, and that people still aren't coming, and they're not even that expensive. Yeah. It's not like for me, a couple of years ago, when I'd look at people that were teaching when we were teaching, and they're like, oh my God, they're charging $700 for their class a month. No wonder actors aren't taking that.
Yeah.
But when it's 250 or 200 a month or 250 a month, you think, but
Yeah.
I mean, everything is tight now. Everything is tight.
But also we ran across this when we did the project. It was a 6-month commitment because we were going to work month by month by month till the Fringe Festival and then beyond. And people go, that's a lot. That's a big commitment. And we're like, no, it's not.
6
How
months.
long were you going to give your career?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to give it like 3 months. And if I didn't, put 100 down and you know what I mean?
Well, that sounds like when I was on the East Coast before I came out here, when I was in college, and I had always had intentions. I said, well, I'm either going to go to New York and pursue theater, or I'm going to come to LA. And it just so happened that my friend Monica Scheiferstein met Dudley Moore. Little people know he was a classic pianist, and he was performing at the Joseph Meyerhoff Symphony Hall. And he was obsessed with my girlfriend. She was 6 foot tall, blonde, beautiful German. And he followed her everywhere. And she said, well, I'm going to my friend Priscilla's play, Grapes of Wrath, tonight. So if you want to come, come. So I had the privilege of meeting him after the play. And God bless him. That him playing Arthur, that man liked his cocktails. So we're sitting there, and I was telling, he said, so, what are you going to do after you graduate college? I said, well, I'm either going to go to New York and pursue theater, or I'm going to go to LA. He said, well, I tell you what. He said, I own a restaurant in Venice called 72 Market Street. And he said, if you decide to come to LA, there's free filet mignon and champagne until you make it. And I said, well, I want to be a producer, not an actor. And he said, okay, so maybe 30 days, right? And he said, everybody's a producer in LA. You'll be able to do that. So he was so inspirational that the next day I made the decision that I was going to choose LA. And when I got here, I registered for UCLA for the film extension program.
Uh-huh.
Well, I unfortunately had a teacher the first day. This was 1992. The first day he said, look, let's be real. Let's talk turkey here. If you're a woman, the most you're going to do is you're going to get sitcoms. Don't think about it, because I wanted to direct and produce. He said, if you're a woman, I don't even know why you're in this class, because there are no women that are going to produce and direct action-packed dramas and A-list movies. He said, the most you can hope for is a sitcom. I could not believe it. He was shocked. I mean, so I was so happy when, what was that movie that came out? Mimi, oh God, it was where the tsunami came and destroyed the earth. It was an action-packed movie. Anyway, she directed it. First director that, and it was a A-list action-packed movie. And I sent him a note. Well, that's another story. But a lot of teachers didn't encourage females to pursue high-powered positions as directors and producers.
Yeah,
so
that's why we had to do it ourselves.
Yeah. So my question is, I know you have Foley Marra Studios. Do you just teach acting skills, or do you incorporate some business aspects in it?
Oh, we do a lot of the business, about being in the business, but also when we shoot our films, we teach everybody how to do almost every position. So we teach you how to AD, we teach you how to be a, not film loader, because we don't do that much, but we teach you how to DP, we teach you how to do sound design, we teach you how to do, so that everybody does everything, which is why we could do so many films. We did 23 films in 17 weeks.
So what are these films, projects that you personally come up with the idea and you shoot them, or are these projects being asked for you to do?
Go ahead.
It started back in 2016, 2017, when people were saying, look, I'm going to go to this place and spend $1,100 and shoot a scene. And I'm like, okay.
Well, it started also because we were running out. We've done
plays and plays and plays and plays,
and our actors were getting tired.
So, but
doing plays.
The idea was, don't just do a scene, do a short movie. Then your scene comes out of a movie, because you can tell that it's going no place. The scene that you played all this was going no place. I'm not here to trash anybody's business, but I mean,
you can use it for your demo reel, right?
So we did all of these. We shot them in a month, and then I almost went crazy editing and stuff. But then somebody said, "You mind if we put it into submit it to a festival?" And we're like, "Go ahead. What's going to happen? Go ahead." Yeah. And then it got in. And then it got like, where is it? It's up there on the wall.
There's some of them. And then there's some more over there.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So then it got an award for best, like suspense drama or something. And then somebody else got it, and somebody else got it. And before you know it, we were all over the place.
Yeah.
And then so they originally wrote there first because we want our students to have a voice.
Yes.
Right. And then the next time we got more developed into more developing the story, and now we basically write the stories.
Mostly we write the stories now.
Yeah. Do you do all your classes online? Are they all online, or do you have a physical studio?
Yeah.
We used to have a physical studio, and then people stopped coming, and then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And
that kind of happened at the same time.
The rents are like nuts now. We'd have to charge phenomenal amounts of money.
Yeah.
And that's
so if somebody wants to take classes with you, do you both teach? Do you teach separate things? What does it entail? What are your classes?
Yeah, mostly Chuck teaches most of it. I'll come in and sometimes talk about the business stuff, or sometimes I'll come in and make a special appearance. But he does teach most of it. And then I drop in a lot and just kind of check in on everybody. And
make a cameo appearance.
Cameo, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I love teaching. I'll teach until I'm 150.
He does.
What's your syllabus look like, Chuck? Like, what's an average from beginning to end? What would you say? You start out with acting 101. Please tell me you don't make people get down on the floor and act like they're a tree or an animal.
No, you wouldn't get animal exercises for a good year and a half.
Oh, I don't want to do any exercise. No, I'm kidding, but go ahead.
I teach just almost exactly as I learned it from Strasbourg, and
so there's a tree
no reason to do. People don't understand them. I talk to people in powerful positions, and nobody really understands the method. Not like I'm the only person who understands the method. Understand me. But we used to say that the method is a method for an actor to train its instrument. Knowing that you're given stuff on your level to help your creativity, your concentration, your expressiveness, and more than anything else, I try to make you an acting addict. I need you to go, oh my God, if I don't get in this room and shut that door and work, I'm going to be miserable every day. And when you do it every day, and there's just a lot of stuff, it would be pointless to go into all the little details, but we give you something to practice every day. Then you go, this is important, you go look for stuff. The reason your career doesn't start is because you're waiting for some acting teacher to give you a side. All right, work on this. Oh, thank you. Well, that's great. Would you lift the weight for me so I don't have to lift it? That's kind of it, Why don't you do crunches for me so I don't have to, and I still want the body. Doesn't work like that. You got to look around. That's what all the major stars are doing. That's what everyone who's working is doing.
Yeah, you have A-list actors now who do commercials, and I'm like, I love seeing the old A-list actors doing commercials now, because there is nothing that is a lot of actors I had heard, I don't know if this is true, but a lot of actors from back in the day, like I'll say the day for me is like the 80s. And they said, I had heard that they said, it'll be a cold day in hell when I'll ever do a commercial, because they considered that like a lower echelon type work. Now they're lucky to get a damn Doublemint commercial.
Yeah.
I would go on
in
the 90s when I was acting a lot. I'd go on 3 to 5 auditions a day.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was
In
really,
LA? In
yeah,
LA?
yeah.
Wow.
And I would, and that's not a lie. There was one time I had 7 auditions in a
One
day,
day.
and I was supposed to be directing sessions, and Megan's like, just go.
Yeah, just
Um,
I'll find somebody else.
But the point is that when you're acting that much in commercials, in theatricals, whatever you're doing, you're getting better every time you're auditioning.
Yeah.
So there were commercial actors that you'll never know because you just see them for a second.
We're
And they're
amazing.
amazing actors.
I know.
Amazing, wonderful actors. And because they audition all the time, because
And they've
they
made
work
their
all
whole
the time.
careers out of doing commercials.
Yeah.
I
But-
love commercial actors. It's like people don't think of it this way, but a commercial is a whole story scrunched up. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they tell it in a minute.
Yeah, you have to, or 30 seconds. You have to tell the
30
story.
seconds sometimes.
Yeah.
Like my favorite are those progressive commercials with
Oh.
Flo.
Uh,
That woman, remember all the characters she used to play? She's a phenomenal actress. I don't know why I don't see her in one of these blockbuster films, but I think she's
because she's Flo.
She's Flo. That's true.
Yep.
Is that called being stereotyped, do you think? Because she's Flo?
But eventually, when she's not doing it anymore, then she'll
crush it.
get her career back again. But right now, she's probably making.
She's making millions. I
Yeah.
have a friend who's a friend of a friend of hers, and they said that this woman is living. Well, I won't tell where but she's living in a house that's like $5 million that she paid for just on the progressive commercials.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now you got Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Yeah.
That commercial. I love that commercial. So the people who've been around for a while, I think she's probably the most successful. Okay, so if I want to take a class, the Megan Foley Chuck Marra class, I go on the website. Is this how we start? We go on the website, and what do we do? Register?
Or email me. You can do it, but I would say email me. So I'll give you my email address, which I think you have put out already.
Yeah, let's say it just to be
just to be pushy.
Yeah, let's say it because somebody's watching. They're going to write it down right now. What is it, Meg?
It's Megan Marra at me.com.
At me.com. Yes. Okay.
Is an old Apple when Apple.
In a while. I didn't know that still existed. I thought Hotmail. I still see people with Hotmail email. Like,
I know, I see that too. My son has he's got Yahoo, but
now he's changed it.
Now he's changed it, but
I have a friend who has got AOL.
My sister still has AOL.
Yeah, people still have AOL. It's amazing, but it's there. So you would prefer them to email you.
Yes.
And then they'll email you. And what do they say? Hey, Megan, I'd like to take some of your classes.
Yeah, maybe one class, and then we'll call them and talk to them about it. It's very casual.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an acceptance that they have to go through? Like you don't just take any time.
It's really hard,
right?
The acceptance is they have to work at it.
Yeah.
And then show up. And that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And I'm serious because when we started the theater company here, we started a theater company with mostly retirees who had never
in Lake
acted.
Arrowhead. We started our theater
in Lake Arrowhead. And so these guys worked their tails off every week in a class for hours, and then they became really good actors.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people want to be celebrities, and we kind of weed them out. You have to have a name that's recognizable. You absolutely have to have the name that's recognizable. With
what do you mean to be in your class? There, you have to.
No, just in to make it as an actor.
I see.
You got to have some kind of cachet and reputation. But no, just if you want to do the work, you just show up, do the work, and then a lot of people don't want to do the work; they just drop out. We used to take 20 people into the project, and by 3 months into it, there was only 12.
No. There was never just 12. It'd be like 16, but still there.
And then 4 months into it, there's only 12.
All right, we're somewhere in the range. Okay, so what? Now when they, so Megan says, "Hey, you made the cut." What do you do? Do you send like an email or with a link, and then what do they do?
Yeah, then they can sign up from that. Yeah, we'll do it. We're very hands-on with our classes, because we are. That's always been. I pretty much sign everybody up, and then Chuck pretty much teaches everybody. I'm kind of more the administrative part, and he's more of the teaching part. But we kind of share it all. And then for the longest time, that's where all of our films came from, was from our classes.
Right. So okay, so let's talk cashola now. How much does a person have to save or donate what organ to pay for a class?
Organ for our class?
Because
$250 a month.
$250. Oh, and how many classes do you get for that? That's a bargain. That's a steal.
That's what I told you. It's we don't believe in ripping people off, but
that is a more than fair price, though. How many classes, though?
Well, if there's 4 weeks in a month, it's 4 weeks in a month.
1 week, once a week. Okay.
Yeah, and then sometimes there's 5 weeks in a month, and
that's a freebie.
We get it.
Okay. We add it or we take it off.
What happens with the leap year? You get a free class, and then you get another free class. Okay. All right. And so do these people have to have any kind of credentials to be accepted, or just the willingness to learn? And if so, I'm assuming that you allow people who are at the inception of their careers, that they want to be actors. So do you adjust the class? Because say, for example, you're just starting, and then you got somebody that's been acting for a while. Do you do one-on-ones, or is it like a Zoom?
No, we adjust for everybody. I would say the best way to say that is that, and we've always taught this way when we were doing our commercial classes, in LA, and 40 people in it. We would have people that have very experienced and people that were not very experienced. And I think that everybody learns from each other. The people that have been doing it a long time get reminded of some of the little mistakes when they watch other younger people, or not younger, but newer, and vice versa. Obviously people that are just learning really get to learn and see, oh, that's what I want to do. That's how I need to work it. But we've had great success, I feel like, with that, with having people do both instead of separating it and kind of moving people from one class to another class.
I understand why people do that. I don't agree with it, because I want you learn from better people, and then an expert will learn from a novice. And you're doing your work anyway. I'll tell you this. I did this one commercial. I booked. I walked in. I was in a callback, and this actress said, "Oh, we're paired up." I said, "Okay, great." And then she proceeded to direct me into everything. I'm going to do this, and then you do that. No, do it like that. Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This went on, and I'm like, oh, I drove out here for nothing. I mean, this is going to be the worst audition ever. And I got the role. She did not, because, and she ended up getting a line, and then she went to pieces. But that's the point was, you're doing your own work, and you can work with anybody. And I've never seen ever, and we've done 30 years of this, somebody will come back in, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I hate to ask this. Can I go again? Because that person sucked. And I'm like, if I can, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
And then I find that wasn't any good anyway. It wasn't the bad person, it was you. You sucked. Sorry.
But it's also you as an actor, you have to work with what you're given.
That's it.
And you have to learn how to do that, because you're going to read with people.
Somebody's going to act with you.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there on the set of Hollywood, and we're on the set, and I'm next to, Taylor Holland. She's
Holland Taylor.
Sorry. She's amazing. I mean, she's she's a master.
Yeah. And you're talking about the redheaded lady that was on Soap. The show.
No, that's Catherine
Holland
Taylor. I'll look her
up. Holland Taylor. She was in Georgia the Jungle. We watched that a million times. She's just brilliant. She's brilliant, and so she's so powerful. I'm thinking, she's working with me, huh? I have to. So she's got to be thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like Olivier had to work with.
This is her. That. Can you see her?
Holland Taylor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Wasn't she on Soap?
She wasn't on Soap.
Back in the 70s?
I don't think she was, because one of my really good friends was on Soap.
Or maybe she was on Mary Hartman.
Well,
Anyway.
might have been
I
that.
have to look it up.
Maybe. Oh, I know her. She's a great actress.
She's
Yeah.
great.
And so there's always going to be somebody who's better than you, who's working with you.
She's
so,
on the morning
yeah.
show right now.
She's on the there you yes, she is on the morning show. I remember that now. And that so when you get a chance to work with somebody who is not as experienced, you have to have the same attitude.
Yeah.
We're all in it together.
Yeah.
So these classes that is this something where say for example you had 10 people that sign up, do you do these classes individually, one-on-one, or are you part of like a Zoom?
It's part of a Zoom, but I have worked a lot with people one-on-one because they don't feel comfortable. I just want to do this, and it's more expensive.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
not that much.
No.
I mean, it's
It's
Okay.
125 an hour. If you
Okay.
want a complete
which is
lesson,
also lower.
as opposed to 3 hours for 250.
Now, what about if somebody has an upcoming audition? A lot of people who do classes do this. If there's an upcoming audition, an actor just needs somebody to go over the lines with them and kind of work with them and bounce. Do you do that?
We do that, and if they're in class, they can just bring it to class, and we'll work on it there.
Okay.
You know, but if they're not, and if they need to come and do a private or whatever, individual, then we'll do that. We're so flexible, in so many ways that we just try to make it work because we were both actors starting out. Me not very long, him much longer. He still acts. He still does it.
Your face is so familiar to me. May I inquire as to maybe your most famous role or some things that you were in that I might be remembering you from?
Did a lot of commercials.
I did a lot of commercials. So for like 1988 till 2005, I was on television. It was some commercial was running constantly. So people go, I know you from something. I'm like, okay, cool. That's wonderful. And I had a blast on a television show called Fudge, which was
based on Judy Blume's books.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, I was a teacher in that. And so I'll pop up even as things come. And we just did.
What are some of the commercials? Because I'm obsessed with commercials. So I'm wondering what you did that I might.
Silo, Hallmark, Pizza Hut.
Oh, yeah. Hallmark commercials. Oh, Lord, they will just. I cannot watch a Hallmark commercial without crying. I'm like,
crying, right?
That's what they're supposed to do.
Okay, go. Oh, my God. They'll rip your heart. Right? Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's probably where I saw your face is very familiar, very, very familiar.
Yes.
And so, how did the two of you meet, if I may ask? Was it in New York, or
No, I was here about a week. No, actually about a month.
He just moved out here.
Okay,
It was a
mutual friend. Yeah,
her best friend and a very good friend of mine. We're friends with a country western singer who was an Australian country western singer, and he's going back to Australia. So we went to the concert, and
we were all there together.
We started dancing, and she was cool, and I'm like, okay.
I walked in and I said to my friend, "Oh, I hope he's with our party."
I did not know you're from California, Megan.
I'm from Texas. I'm from New Orleans, and then Houston.
Oh, okay. So did you come out here in 87, the same year that Chuck came out?
No, I came out here in 78. I came out here to go to college.
Ah, okay. And then when you saw him at the party, what happened that you two said, "Oh, I don't
know. I saw him across the room, but I said, "Oh, I hope he's with our party." And he was.
And I was.
And then I'm from Texas, and we were in a country western bar, which he thought he'd landed in Mars because
Denim and Diamonds. Denim and Diamonds. Was it Denim and Diamonds?
No. It was
the Longhorn.
The Longhorn Saloon in Canoga Park.
Okay.
And so anyhow, I taught him how to two-step, and that was kind of it. I left town the next day on location. I went up to location for Northern California, And before I'd gotten home, he had left me like 3 or 4 messages on my machine. Do you want to
Well, see, that's what a man's supposed to do. What is all this new stuff where you got to wait 3 weeks before you text somebody?
Oh, God, no. That wouldn't have worked.
That would not have worked. Absolutely.
We clicked right away.
We clicked right away.
Now, I'm into astrology. May I please, a flashback from the 70s. What sign are you, Chuck?
I'm a Gemini with Leo rising.
Okay, what are you?
Aquarius.
Oh, that's perfect. You're both air signs. No wonder you get along so well. See, my husband and I are both water signs.
Are you?
I'm Scorpio. He's Pisces. So
yeah,
we get along very, very well. Okay, so I'm excited about these classes. Do you have are they ongoing, or do you have a fall, summer, fall, winter? They're
ongoing. Okay. Usually Thursday morning, and it's right now. It's very, very, very small class. I think everybody's in away in the summer, so there's nothing going on.
Okay, now Chuck, take me through this. All right, I've signed up. I've given Mega all of my green coupons to get this class, right? So, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm coming online for the Chuck Marra instruction. So I get online. What do I expect? Maybe four people. Let's just say 4 people. Oh, you got to be one of them because you're the instructor. So you and 3 people. What do you say? Not hi. I welcome to the class. Say
thanks for joining us. Listen, we're a monologue. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do.
At the very beginning.
I just want to see where you are, what you're doing, what you do. And
now do you tell the people to have a monologue ready before? Okay, and they can pick comedy or drama.
Anything they want.
Okay, that's good.
So they'll do a monologue, and then from there, they do exercises, and then they do also. Then he kind of decides, go look at this, go look at this play, or go look at that play at the beginning, but pretty soon he's like, cut you loose and say, go find your own stuff, find your own voice.
Is this predominantly theater taught, or
because I'm a theater snob, but I love movies and I've got great respect for television. So I will tell you that acting is acting is acting is acting is acting. And if I tell you that this is a theater class or a film class, I'm obviously trying to get some money out of you. Take 2 because good acting is good acting. And this is the best way it's ever been explained to me, is that if for theater, I would stand way back in the back of the room.
Yeah.
And for
project. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're way back there and I've got to do it. And for television, I would be about this distance. Yeah. And for film, I'd be about this distance. Yeah. So if you're good, then you'll adapt. Just imagine the camera's here or it's out there. Oh. Bad acting is. We tell them all. Listen, I have a food thing. I eat constantly. I'm absolutely a food addict. So your job is to keep me from going to the fridge while you're acting.
I love it. I had a girl on. You probably know who she is if you're a theater snob. Her name is Daisy Egan. She was the very first Tony Award winner child actor, right? And I don't remember I apologize, but she was one of the first people on my show way back in 2003. And she said, I think, was it Annie maybe? Oh, I can't remember what it is. You have to look her up. But, I know she was the first Tony Award winner that I had on my show. And she said that it is better because she said, oh, I love your voice. Your voice is so high and loud and melodic. She said you would have a very easy time doing theater because your voice will project. And she said it's better to have a voice that is high and you can project rather than having a low, quiet voice because it's harder, right? Yeah. Is that true? Yeah. It's harder to make yourself bigger than to make yourself smaller.
There's also a technique where if you just think of the back of you thinking of the back of the theater, your voice will do that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do anything other than just all of a sudden speak to the back of the audience and just that's it.
Just gets louder.
Yeah. My aunt was an actress. she used to say there's 4 offs. She used to drag me to auditions with her, but she was always say off, Broadway, off Broadway, off. I don't know, there were 4 of them, but I was little and she would drag me to the auditions. And because my I don't want to get personal, but my father died in Vietnam. So my mother had to go back to school, and I had 6 aunts and 2 uncles who helped take care of me. Well, one of them was an actress. She was the singer, actor, dancer. So she would take me on the auditions because it was her turn to take care of me. And she would sit me in the back and she said, you stay here and hide and scoot down, or else I'm not going to book this role. But I remember that the choreographers and the theater directors would say, project. And then one of them obviously saw me way in the back and he said, I want that little girl who's hiding in the way in the back of the theater. Now, darling, I want you to tell me if you can hear this actor and go. And I thought, oh, wow. And I learned so much from going to these auditions about theater as a little child. And there was always, everybody was so dramatic and there was fighting going on. And sometimes I'd get to go and they all took care of me when, anyway, it was a wonderful experience being.
It was a great experience.
Wonderful. I loved it. Everybody was so energetic and dramatic. Out here, it was very different. When I first moved here, the director, I lived in Hermosa Beach. And I said, well, I'm going to get back involved in community theater. Now, this is 1992. And I went to the Hermosa Beach Civic Theater and I volunteered for my services. And I was hired right away as the assistant director because I directed Grapes of Wrath in a round with 4 columns.
Oh my God.
So if I could do that, I qualify as assistant director. And I did Rashomon and I did 3 Men and a Horse. And I love doing community theater. But I was the woman who was the director. She got booked on a soap opera like the second week. And so they made me director of the Heidi Chronicles. So I'm trying to do, Chuck, an energy circle, because that's what I was taught. Everybody on Broadway did an energy circle. The girl told me, she said, oh, that is so East Coast. We don't do energy circles. She said, I do all of my work in the car. And I said, well, you know what? Today we're going to make it fun. You're doing it right here in this thing.
Energy circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was everybody, like you said earlier, Chuck, everybody out here I found they just did theater to invite agents to see them so they could get cast.
Yeah.
We both used to belong to the West Coast Ensemble back in the day. And I do plays there because it was a great place to do theater. And some people came to see me. Some people didn't come to see me. None of it mattered.
If you booked so much,
I booked so much because I was doing theater at night. I was auditioning during the day and I was sharp. And theater is
it's
an amazing.
The best way to do it.
Instant gratification. A lot of people, if you want instant gratification, you've got to do theater. If you don't mind seeing yourself and waiting forever, like a year for the film to come out, well, that's for you. Anyway, I'm just being told we're running out of time, so I want to get this in. So email Megan for the classes. Mm-hmm. The book is available on Amazon.
It is.
It has given me just what are some reasons why someone should go to Amazon right now and buy this book? If you're an aspiring actor, what about a director? What about a producer? Or is it just, why? Tell me.
It's specifically to actors, but I think anybody could do this. But our field is acting. And so one reason is because these mistakes are so ubiquitous. They are everywhere. You think, this is my little thing, and it makes me. No, it's not. It's done a million times.
Everybody.
And if you only knew it, I can't tell you how many people have told me like, "Oh no, I don't do theater. I don't work for free." I'm like, well, then you don't work. I mean, theater. It's like, what are you doing? So everybody has the we all make the same mistakes.
Yeah, and it addresses so many different issues about it. And I think that's why. And plus it's kind of funny. And I keep telling him, I think we're going to do a whole series of these,
Yeah, let's see that. Get that book up there. Put that in front of, there you go. I love it. Well, the title, whoever came up with the title has a brilliant mind. Oh, okay. Because it's going to catch your attention. What? How to trash it? Like my husband, when he first saw the book, he said, what does that mean? Are they writing to say how to trash your career? And I said, no, it's a play on words. It's giving you tips how not to do it. But if you continue doing it, so that title really is catchy and it grabs you.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? And what are some of the things we can expect after we read this book? How will we be better?
Well, I think you'll be aware.
Yeah.
I think you'll have an awareness that you didn't have before.
I think you'll find yourself saying things like, and then go, oh, yeah.
Do we have Cooper's book? We have a friend of ours that's an actor who works all the time. And we sent the book to him, and then he sent it back to us, and the highlights, circles, and it was like, ouch. Oh my God, I've done that a million times. Oh no. It's a whole book. It's got his notes in it. They're like, oh man, that really hurt. Oh yeah, I did it.
That's important. It is. And
I did that again. Yeah.
We laughed so hard
because it's not blowing an audition. It's a mindset that happens because you want to be socially accepted in the Muggle world. Among the people who never go for their dreams, you want to be there. Like, oh my God, one of the chapters is, if it were that easy. And people say that all the time. Yeah, it's that simple. You know what? It is that simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Just do it. And so you're the prime mover. And the more you get your mind polluted by everybody else, there's a hot chapter in here about a really good way to do it is take advice from other non-working actors. Yeah, I'm sitting in the lobby listening to people when I'm running sessions, sitting to people give advice that it's like, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Don't listen. They're not working.
I know. I remember there's so much advice in your book, so many tips and tricks and things that you need to do to just adjust yourself so that you will book the job.
It's really about adjusting your mindset,
Yes. It's an investment in yourself. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Buy this book.
It's not even $15, I don't think anymore.
And also a visual sense of humor about it. You can laugh instead of hanging on an artist's cross and going, mea culpa. No, it happens.
Yeah, there's so many books out there, but I tell you, this is, you can't go wrong I think it's $13.49 now. I just looked it up because I was going to buy one for a friend of mine. And so you can't go wrong with this book. And look, you get to see this gorgeous man, this beautiful woman. You don't want to look at ugly people when you're doing you taking classes. I didn't say that, but it's true. Let's just be honest. We want to look at pretty people. Well, I got to tell you guys, I appreciate your time and effort doing this interview.
Thank you.
I really do. You guys.
We have had a
LA. Dinner's on us. Come away.
I will come. I know I was invited to one of your parties and we couldn't come because you
live far,
we live far, but that's okay. So invite us again. We'll come to something.
Yeah, you got to come to LA for something. Often. Just remember us next time you're down here. Gonna get a free ribeye to gnaw on. Why not? Okay, so let's. The studio is. I'm going to let you say it.
The Foley Marra Studios.com. And if you go under classes there, you can see some of the movies that we've done. They're all on there. And then also the email again is meganmarra@me.com. And I'm going to plug this. Chuck has just found out that he's going to Barcelona we have a film that's in a film festival that's been nominated for the best American short film. So
Wow. Well, I'm a screener and a judge for multiple film festivals, so send it my way. I can't guarantee anything. Maybe it'll get in. But Sholo Film Festival, huge out of Arizona. I'm a judge and screener for that. Burbank International Film Festival. You've heard of it. And Temecula Film Festival. So write that down and submit your stuff. But send me an email before you do so that I can set it on its path. That's a whole different topic we have.
I know that is. Well, also, I'm going to plug this too because I didn't tell you this. We have a documentary that we did a couple of years ago, and it got distribution. So we're right in the middle of all of that happening. So that's
well, you know what? I'm going to plug this. I produced. This is called The Christmas Witch. This is the new movie that I'm producer on. It's in the second phase, and we do Christian. I only work pretty much on Christian-based Christmas films. But my last film was called #Blessed. It's on all streaming platforms. We're in the second phase of The Christmas Witch. So that'll be probably next year that we'll be finished with that. But if you want to come down to the screen, I'm going to send you an invitation. And we screen at the AMC. No, what is that one on Hollywood Boulevard that's right on the walk? It's TLC, the Chinese theater.
Yeah.
The Chinese theater. That's usually where we go. But I'm going to invite you to come. And also, you're on Instagram at Foley Marra Studios and Facebook, Megan Foley Marra. Keeping it consistent. That's what you need to do. And thank you guys so much. And I'm going to be promoting your studio and your book. Again, let's hold our books up.
You're great. Okay, hold our books up. I noticed
how to trash your career wise. You got to get to that one before you get to this one. So start with that one first. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us. Tell Albert hi.
I still have not found out how I ended up getting cast on that Gerard Radisson. Was it just a general casting call?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how the hell I do. Okay.
Yeah, it was a general casting call.
Yeah. Okay.
We got some great people on that. I still love that photo.
Yep.
I didn't know if it was my agent who sent me on that. I think he did. The one who says, Priscilla, just pretend you can sing. It's okay. You don't really have to know it. Oh, I loved him. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you have a great time. Bye, sexy brothers.
Bye. Take care.
Get out there. Okay, we'll see you next week on Question Reality. Bye.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.